This is the 2026 Land Rover Defender. Did Land Rover make the right changes? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're back at Land Rover of Shreveport today. If you want to know more about this model, which is a X-Dynamic SE, check out the link down in the description of the video. Now, we're going to find some new graphics here with the headlights. We'll just let things come on a little bit for you right there. And a change with the bumper. You can see with this area right here, the change in the finish. And we'll also find something that I can't show you here, the new 22-inch 7-spoke wheels. Now, these are the 22-inch 5-spoke wheels, so that won't be something that you can see in this video, but it is one of the changes. And right here, the inserts that go in the hood, these pieces that are basically just decorative, that has obviously changed. You can see that it's a whole different design. Takes up a little bit more space than it did in the past, and this area right here as well has changed for the 2026 model year. Tell me what you think about that. That is something that's very interesting as far as what this model has. And hopefully with this Santorini black, this will show up really well, but you now have the flush tail lights here, so they're not basically inset the way they used to be, where they were kind of inside of the body, so to speak, kind of pushed in a little bit. What do you think about that? I've had some people tell me they already don't really like that. They're so used to the original look that this model had, but that's another one of the changes we're going to see for the 26 model year. And for those who are looking for some changes with exterior color options, that is also something that's going to change, as there are several different colors that are now available as of the 2026 model year. And you'll still have the same remote for this new model year, as you can see. We'll also continue to have our LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights, also the LED turn signal indicators. You can see that we have our power folding side view mirrors with the turn signal indicators built in. They're going to be heated and power adjustable, and you'll have your blind spot monitoring built in right there. One thing about the Defender, with these nice tall windows, it's very easy to see out of. That's always going to be a good thing. All-wheel drive, as I mentioned, 22-inch wheels, and you will find your full-size spare back here. Easy to know that that's here, easy access, all of that. And we will also have our exposed recovery hooks here on the bumper. Under the hood of this model will be the supercharged 5-liter V8 that puts out 493 horsepower and 450 pounds-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, with all that horsepower and torque, what kind of MPGs can you expect? Well, here are the potentials based on what the window sticker reveals. 14 city, 18 highway, 16 combined, and 6.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. You'll find that the Defender 110 has a 23.8 gallon gas tank. On a full tank of gas, this is estimated 333 miles in the city. Out on the highway, that number will jump to 428 miles. Max towing capacity comes in at 8,200 pounds. And before we talk about cargo capacity, let me show you something here that I think you're going to like. Guess what? We're going to be able to maximize cargo space very easily. Not only that way, but then we can fold the seat down just like this. We will have to move the headrest down. There we go. A little hard to do that one-handed. But that way, you know that everything is completely flat. To gain access to your cargo space is very simple. We just push the button on the inside of the handle right there. That opens the door. And you will have 34 up to 78.8 cubic feet worth of space. And there is plenty of space back here, including a little bit of additional space right here. We're going to have the Defender logo in the door right there. And I know I have a few things in here, but you know what? It works just fine. No big deal. But we can lower the suspension or raise the suspension here. This is on air ride suspension. Now I'm going to raise this all the way up. So depending on your situation, if you want to raise or lower this to make it easier to load or unload cargo, you can see that that goes up really high. Makes a difference depending on what you need to do, and then we can lower things back down. And it actually goes somewhat quickly. I'm going to try and give you a quick opportunity to see this. You may not be able to see the Defender lowering down, but I am going from that height all the way down. It takes about, I didn't time it, but about 10 seconds, I would say. And then you're back down to the lowest point of the ride height. Depending on your situation, your needs, obviously you can take advantage of that. You will have the interior lighting here. It's LED, and I like that it's pointed into the interior the way that it is. That definitely does a nice job. You're also going to have a little bit of lighting back here in this area as well to help from the roof. And you have the safari windows that are nothing new, but they are here for those who may not be familiar with the Defender. Figure I might as well show that. And we have a panoramic sunroof. That front portion will tilt and slide open, and the shade is drawn back about halfway. That actually will come way back beyond that and provide quite a nice large viewing area for those who want to take advantage of it. And we'll continue to find the exposed screws, that classic look of the Defender, and we'll also find plenty of room and comfort with the armrest and a lot of space with the door bin. We will find the rear seat pockets, and there is another look at the panoramic sunroof for those who may want to see that. You will find some connectivity options down here, a couple of USB options, have the air conditioning vents built in the rear of the center console. And a question that people often ask in my videos, can you adjust the recline in these seat backs in this back seat area? No, you can't, but it does have some recline built into it, which is nice. And so you can definitely take advantage of that. Your rear seat passengers can take advantage of that. And here's something that can be taken advantage of. You can also fold this middle seat back down and maximize the opportunity for using cargo space when you have people in these outboard seats, passengers in the outboard seats, because you created a pass-through when you need it. The sticker price is $111,476. Let's see what else you get for that price. Now, some changes to technology for 2026, some upgrades. You're going to have off-road adaptive cruise control, the driver attention monitor, and this is not available unless you go with the Defender 130. So it's not available here on the 110, but I do think it's a pretty nifty thing that should be available on maybe all Defenders. But it is the optional air compressor to help you out when you're off-road with adjusting air pressure in your tires. So everything remains the same as far as the position of your gear for your doors, for your windows, your powered mirrors, and the controls for your power adjustable seats, or should I say seat memory. You will find the seat adjustability on the side of the seats. Everything's going to be here that you're used to having. And as far as changes go, you'll find the 13.1-inch Pivi Pro infotainment screen. That's going to be standard now on all models of the Defender. And here are our steering wheel mounted controls. Everything that you're used to seeing is still going to be here, at least for those of you that are familiar with the Defender the last few years. Everything for managing your front and rear window wipers right here. We will also have everything for our turn signal indicators. I know some of you wonder, what is that? What are turn signal indicators? That's how you use this lever to let people around you know what you're doing before you do it out on the road. That's pretty good. That's a nice little thing to do. Yes, all sarcasm aside, I do like to laugh about that and give people a hard time. You also have the controls for your headlights. All that good stuff is going to be there. Your headlights, taillights, everything that can be turned on there. And a very comfortable steering wheel, by the way, that is going to be heated if you want to use that functionality. There's the button for that, the button to start and stop the engine. And the screen, while it may look complicated, it really isn't. It's actually pretty easy to learn and use. You can connect your smartphone wirelessly. You have a lot of information you can gain about your Defender, depending on what you need to know as far as your slope assist. Obviously, you're going to have your compass right there. Your wheel info is also here. There's a lot going on to talk about here. I do like the camera views that are all over this Defender. You can see everywhere you need to in every single situation. It doesn't really matter, other than being able to see underneath the Defender. You can't really do that exactly going underneath the vehicle, but there are a lot of things here as far as your front camera view, your rear camera view. There are cameras literally everywhere. We do have our 3D view that we can go back to if we want to right there. Now, you do have the off-road view that gives you this view. I think that works quite well, and you can actually, at low speeds, potentially use that in other situations, not just off-roading. That's one thing about the all-wheel drive system of these Defenders, is that it's not just helpful off-road, it's also helpful in low traction situations. You can also see right there for towing. Told you can tow up to 8,200 pounds. Easy to see what's going on back there behind you as far as that goes. And then, if you want to go and find your icons, everything is right here. You can see what all is there. You can see you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both right here. And seat adjustments. How about that? If you want to make any changes here, we can go with seat heat. We can deal with that. And we're not going to spend a lot of time there, but just to show you a little bit of what is here, vehicle dimensions. If somebody ever asks you what your dimensions are, well, you can find out what they are right here and give them that information. How many of you have ever been asked about that? But it's good to know that. It depends on what you're doing and where you're driving is actually the purpose of all of that. And low traction launch right here is going to help you out in situations, well, obviously when you have low traction, but that can be things off-roading or snow and ice. I know a lot of you deal with that throughout the year. I'm sure glad we don't. Not something I'm too crazy about. We do get that occasionally here in Northwest Louisiana. Now, you can add a trailer if you want to right here. For those of you that do that kind of thing and you need it, depending on what you're going to be hauling and what kind of trailer it is, you can see that you have your options right here. We'll just go in and show you a little bit of what's going on, whether you have single, dual, or 3 axles, whatever it is. Something you might not normally see in these videos, trying to just give you a little bit extra here compared to what you might see other places. You also have driver assistance right there. If you want to go in, you can make changes there if you want to, high, low, custom, whatever you want to do. Pretty easy to deal with. And here is everything for our AC. We have dual zone climate control. I'm going to turn that back on for just a minute. Have that off so we're not putting anything slick on the floor in the showroom here at the dealership, but you can adjust your fan speed right here. As you can see, we can go back and then we can adjust our temperature. And something very simple, but I know a lot of you like to have it, there is the knob for your radio, turning that on and off and adjusting the volume. And speaking of controls, you also have the control right here for your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. You can see two of the options actually for connectivity. We've got a USB port and a 12-volt power outlet. A nice bit of space here with the pass-through underneath. That's nice to have. And then we have plenty of room within the center console. And there is the wireless charging pad. If you're wondering where that is, it's located right there. And you can use this center console lid as an armrest. Overall, there is a lot of space within the interior for driver and passengers. You also have the clear sight rear view mirror that's going to make it very easy to see what's going on around you. And the passenger will have a little bit of extra storage space right here in this area. That's nice and convenient. There is a USB port right there. The oh crap handle is there that can be used for a variety of reasons, depending on if it's off-roading and the road's rough, or if the driving is just scary, depending on who's behind the wheel. And the glove box right here. Might as well show you since that is here. Plenty of space with the door bins and the armrests. But other than that, that's what you're going to find here. But tell me what you think about the changes. Did Land Rover make the right changes for 2026? Is it what you were hoping for, what you would like to see? Maybe there's something they didn't do. Tell us down in the comments section. I'm always curious to know what your thoughts are. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning me this Defender for the day so I can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Please be sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.